Demon Slayer, Mugen Train movie summary. The story begins under a painted sky where hope and dread blend together. Tanjiro Kamado, carrying the quiet weight of his family's tragedy and the fragile hope of turning his sister Nezuko back into a human, boards the Mugen Train alongside his loyal companions, Zenitsu, with his cowardly heart that hides a blade of lightning, and Inosuke, the boar-masked warrior with untamed instincts. Their destination isn't a place, but a mission. Demons have been devouring passengers aboard this train, and the Demon Slayer Corps has sent one of its finest, the Flame Hashira, Kyojuro Rengoku, to uncover the truth. From the moment Rengoku appears, his presence burns like a bonfire in the dark. He's eccentric, loud, and filled with boundless positivity. Yet there's a noble warmth behind his every word. Tanjiro, Nezuko, and the others are instantly drawn to him, not just as a mentor, but as a figure of blazing inspiration. As the train cuts through the night, the lurking threat reveals itself. Enmu, one of the 12 Kazuki, has woven a trap more sinister than teeth and claws. His blood demon art is a nightmare stitched into dreams. He lures his victims into the deepest recesses of slumber, binding them to their happiest memories, making them vulnerable to death in the real world. For Tanjiro, it's a cruel temptation. He dreams of his family alive again, the gentle laughter of his siblings filling the air, his mother's soft smile, the peace he lost to Muzan's curse. The ache in his chest is unbearable, because here, in this dream, his world is whole. But Tanjiro is not a boy who clings to lies. In a moment of agonizing clarity, he realizes the only way to escape is to sever his own life inside the dream. He raises his sword against himself, each strike a scream of courage, and awakens. This act alone paints the canvas of his spirit. Tanjiro is willing to destroy even his most precious illusions if it means protecting the people he loves in reality. The battle aboard the train begins in earnest. Demons spill from the shadows, flesh twisting and stretching as Enmu fuses his body with the very structure of the train itself. The Mugen Train becomes a living nightmare, its bones the rails, its veins the carriages, its hunger the hundreds of passengers inside. Rengoku takes command with unwavering composure, his sword a torrent of fire. He orders Tanjiro and Inosuke to strike at the demon's core, while Zenitsu, in his dreamlike lightning state, protects the passengers with Nezuko's burning resolve. What follows is a storm of steel, fire, and willpower. Tanjiro and Inosuke, wildly different yet bound by shared determination, carve their way through the train's grotesque interior, each slash against Enmu's body echoing with the stakes of every innocent life aboard. At last, with a decisive strike, the demon's core is destroyed. Enmu, writhing and shrieking, crumbles away. The train derails, metal screaming against earth, but by some miracle, the heroes save every passenger. Their bodies are bloodied, but their spirits remain unbroken. And then comes the twist of fate. The true enemy reveals himself. From the forest's shadows emerges Akaza, upper rank 3 of the 12 Kazuki, a monster whose power eclipses anything they've faced before. His arrival is like a thunderclap, his aura a suffocating wave of malice. His eyes fix upon Rengoku. For the first time, the Flame Hashira's smile softens into a warrior's solemnity. The clash between fire and destruction ignites the night. Rengoku's sword becomes an inferno, his every technique blazing with the strength of his heart. Akaza, with monstrous grace, counters each strike, his body regenerating from every wound. Their fight is a symphony of beauty and brutality. Two forces beyond human grasp, tearing the world apart in their collision. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke watch, helpless. They can feel it in their bones. This battle is on a level they cannot yet reach. For them, the fight is not just spectacle, but a cruel reminder of the distance they still have to climb. Rengoku's resolve burns brighter with every blow. He fights not for glory, not for victory, but for the passengers, for his comrades, and for the future these young demon slayers might yet carve. Memories of his mother's gentle words guide him. You were born strong. Use your strength to protect the weak. In those words lies the core of his existence. But Akaza is relentless. His blows break bones, tear flesh, and yet Rengoku does not yield. even as the first light of dawn creeps into the sky, when his body is pierced and pinned, his eyes burn like suns. In a final desperate attempt, he traps Akaza in his fiery grasp, holding him until the sun can rise and burn the demon away. For a heartbeat, it feels as if his will alone might succeed. But Akaza escapes, fleeing into the forest shadows, leaving behind only the echo of his laughter. Rengoku collapses, his flame finally dimming. Tanjiro falls to his knees beside him, his heart shattering. With blood in his throat and fire still in his soul, Rengoku smiles. He entrusts his will to them, his hope, his belief that they will become pillars stronger than himself. He sees Nezuko not as a monster, but as a girl walking toward the light, and he tells Tanjiro with certainty that she belongs in their world. His final words are not of despair, but of pride. He has fulfilled his duty. He has protected. And as he passes, the morning sun rises, casting golden light over his still form. Tanjiro's grief becomes a roar that cuts through the silence. He hurls his words at the retreating demon, cursing Akaza's cowardice, declaring that Rengoku was the true victor, not because he lived, but because he stood unyielding, protecting every soul on that train until his last breath. His words strike deep, not just into Akaza's fleeing form, but into the hearts of his friends and the audience alike. The Mugen Train rests in ruins, but from its ashes rises something greater: resolve. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke know the road ahead is long, filled with blood and sorrow, but Rengoku's flame has been passed on. His death is not an end, but a torch carried forward. And so the train pulls away from the screen, not as a machine of steel, but as a symbol of sacrifice, courage, and the fire that refuses to die.